let some people into the chat. Y'all see the description.
From the green forest that
Shaking my head.
to the ice-covered waters of the Arctic. The native species of the strongest predator. With the largest land carnivore in the world. From 975
So I want to start this off just shaking my head. Like, I watched the video of the Chicago mother going up to the school to pick her child up.
these titans are 5 times stronger than the average human.
Man, Chicago, y'all, bro. And it ain't all Chicago, but, bruh,
And ferocious land-based predators in existence.
it's like a dark cloud over that city, bro.
Bear.
Like unbelievably, like out of all my years of living, I'll say, as far as stuff you hear about with states,
While an adult grizzly can run up to 56 kilometers
that's
per
probably got
hour.
to be at least one of the top three of the worst ones. Like,
Or bamboo.
I even remember a long time ago, and some of y'all, if y'all be on the net, y'all remember this too, about when that lady recorded
Sprays
uh
of other land mammals their size.
Money Moan and them fighting in the old block, and the lady was recording it from the third floor or whatever floor, and then Money Moan and Lil Mikey from old block was fighting. Um, I forgot who was fighting, but he pulled out the gun and shot him, and she happened to already be recording.
American black
And the
bear.
next day they whooped her ass. And it's like in Chicago, boy, it's like so much going on there, man. You would say to yourself, do y'all even know anything about God? Like, do y'all, is it just straight evilness, dude? Because it's like, I mean, they stomped all on the woman, and then I even heard they say the lady even kind of had like medical issues type shit. Like I don't know, man. Like people gotta do better. And then the thing that kills me is about when situations like that happen. It don't be nobody around, which is I'm gonna try to play devil's advocate. I can see things from both ways, but still, sometimes you just might have to take that risk. But it's like nobody nowadays ever just be like, bruh, don't record this wrong. Like, you know what I mean? Like, stand your ground. You know what I mean? Yeah, we all know it's a different time. The average 14-year-old, 13-year-old, they ain't got a 45. They might have that, but they got a switch now. So, dudes be feeling like at school, like, man, I ain't in the street like that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, okay, yeah, this lady and her son getting beat. But you have a lot of people who be feeling like, I ain't trying to get involved because nowadays, damn, we had a little malfunction, I guess, but we back. But yeah, if you didn't read the description, we talking about
Is the
the woman in Chicago and her child who got jumped on, stumped on, just crazy, you know what I mean? Um, Chicago, man, like y'all just gotta do better, man. For real.
on the rocky
The
shores of
star,
North
what it do? Hit that like button. What's up, family? You read the description. We talking about that woman child that got jumped on. Give me your opinion on that. I don't know if you seen the video. If you ain't seen it, go check it out. With the lady went to pick her child up and they jumped on her. See, I mess with you to start. Yeah, my boy say, okay, I got you. Yeah, check that out, dog. And Anthony Cantor. Um, did you see the video, dog? And my boy, the star, you sub. But make sure you check that video out, bro, and really give me your views of how you feel about people morals, bro. Anthony Cantor, did y'all watch that video? Did y'all see the video of the woman that got jumped on with the child?
piercing veins.
That shit crazy, bro. It's out of hand. Ricardo, did you see the video? I want to know, did anybody go see the video on the internet with the lady picking her child up after school and they jumped on her and the child? Lulu, what it do? Oh, he said, no, not yet. Go check it out, bro. Like, me and everybody in the chat, we know, bro. Okay, Chicago get wild, bro. Me too. Deborah said, me too. Yeah, it's like, bro, y'all ain't got no dignity, bro. It's like, listen, it's one thing to jump on people and all of that, but you jump on a mother and a child, bro. She trying to cover the child up, bro. They punching the lady all in the face, doing karate kicks, bro. It's like no morals, no code of ethics, no nothing, bro. You feel me? Like, that shit is out of hand in Chicago, dog. Right. You see my boy to start. That's just insane, right? Like, and then you know what get me though, right? The people who be caught up in recording. Don't nobody morally even say to themselves, hold on, bro. You know what I mean? But like I said before my live got interrupted, I try to play both sides because nowadays everybody in the chat know, okay, so if you one of them kids and then you jump on the mother and son, they probably feel like they'll be stuck with a beef and they can't go to school. And then everybody in the chat know the average 13 or 14, it ain't like the 90s where you get a little 25-7 shot or a 32. The average kid first gun now is an ARP, switch. And you know what I mean? So it's like I can, to a certain degree, understand why some people be on some like, I ain't got nothing to do with it. I don't want to get involved, but you recording it though. So you are getting involved because you're recording it. And that's what people don't realize. Oh, I'm not involved. You recording it. You are involved. Because if it turned out how it turned out, and we all know when we seen that old block footage when Lil Mikey and Money Mo and them was fighting A-Roy and them in O Block, and then as soon as he got up, Lil Mikey pulled out and blicked him down to start, even though they don't want to get involved recording and not calling for help, just right. I feel you, bro. Yeah, right. Like they tweaking hard, like real hard. Like how do you even morally sleep with yourself? You know what I mean? Like how do you even go home and even play like that ain't even happened? Then I kind of found out they say the woman kind of might have had a little disability, like she was kind of sick a little bit. You know what I mean? So like Chicago, bro, like we understand what's going on. Okay, y'all started the drill culture, y'all started the rural ops, fight, joints, and all of this stuff. We give y'all credit for that. Look, my boy Anthony said that is crazy, right? Crazy. No kind of morals whatsoever, bro. You seen how they were jumping on. Look, my dog said he just saw it. Right. No type of morals, bro, with yourself, bro. And then they say the lady kind of got a little disability. Like, come on, man. Like, that's wild, dog. And then she said her son been getting bullied and beat up on all that. She complained to the board. They don't do nothing about it. Now, look, the mayor, every fire department, everybody want to be involved. My dog said he just saw. I appreciate you, family. Um, Now, the city want to be involved now. You know why? Because it got recorded and it made the news. That's the only reason why the city is getting involved now. The lady said she been complaining about the situation and they ain't been doing nothing about it. You know what I mean? So, it's sad that certain things have to go so far for people to finally pay attention to it. But everybody in my chat already know. Morley, Chicago is shot. You know what I mean? And what I mean shot, like shot out, like fried. You know what I mean? Like the way they go about life, and they got such a major influence that it done spread it everywhere now. You know what I mean? All states want to be killers now. You know what I mean? Mass, all black. I'm on that type of time, type vibe. You know what I mean? And now we living in a time now where it ain't even about how many racks you got or how much money you've made. It's about how many hats you got. You know what I mean? Or did you just slide on the ops last night? I'm up on the scoreboard. You down. You know what I mean? So the life expand now is very short for the newer generations, which is under me. You know what I mean? They don't got no plans on, not all, some who lost, who strays. We talking about the lost ones and the strays, not the ones who, what it do, family, not the ones who is balanced. We talking about the ones who ain't balanced, who You know what I mean? The moment they hear King Von or Duck or G Herbo or Big Op or, you know, they ready to go No Limit Wet, anybody, you know what I mean? They ready to go bend a block and tear some shit down. You know what I mean? So they hold a major influence. New York, you know what I mean? Everywhere now, spread it like wildfire now. You know what I mean? So you got a bunch of King Vons, Bloodhound Lil Jeffs, and I know people wanna say, try to front. Not all, because King Von was getting show love when he was here. But Von, he really put that shit back on the map though, for real. Like, and we got a lot of mini baby Vons going around now in the world. You know what I mean? It's always been rappers talking about murders on record. You know what I mean? Or about or what they doing or the work they put in. But Von kind of like revived it in a way. You know what I mean? Like his storytelling made it cool to speak on bodies in a coded way. Because if you know him, then you know what he talking about. Because he used to tweet everything. You know what I mean? Like Von ain't know he was gonna blow it to be who he was gonna be. You know what I mean? When he was doing all that tweeting, to my six extinct in the air for playing with me. You know what I mean? He playing games, talking about he got to catch up to T. You know what I mean? Just coded stuff that people can read between the lines and we know what he talking about. You know what I mean? So he really influenced a lot of people to the point that Lil Jeff, Bloodhound Lil Jeff, did an interview on DJU on that couch that everybody was saying was bad luck. Cause every time somebody sit on DJU couch, they were saying you either die or go to jail. Where Bloodhound Lil Jeff mentioned in the interview that Vaughn said you ain't a killer till you got two hats or more. So now, like I say, you'll have people who flash rats, get money, still rock a designer and all that, but at the same time, now it's really about hats. You know what I mean? So to a certain degree, yes, we mad about what happened and people feel some kind of way because the lady shouldn't have got jumped on. She was trying to protect her son and all of that, and they just all morals and code went out the window. But also, a lot of them kids go to school with them kids. You know what I mean? So let's all have balanced thinking and try to put ourselves in the middle, not on both sides, just in the middle as far as on, okay, somebody did jump in it or something and it get it cracking. Now they go to school with this individual. That lady, you know, she don't go to school. Her child go there, but if it ever got out of hand, she could make a move and get her child out of there. The other kids, parent, they can't go to their parents and have some form of understanding and say, I'm scared to go to school tomorrow. And the parents say, why? Because a lot of parents still gonna be like, no, you taking your ass to school. You know what I mean? And like I say, now it's a little bit more advanced. You know what I mean? And a lot of people, look, the start, that's crazy what this world turned into. Yeah, and then guess what, dog? It's gonna get worse and worse year by year. Think about it. Time don't get better. Every year, every month, minute, hour, things is really turning upside down. And not just what we talking about online, but we just talking about worldly problems that me, you, and everybody else on here know about. You know what I mean? Like shit is in the air right now. That's why I did a few lives ago when I was saying this is the wrong time to be catching a stretch right now. Now, if you already doing it, that's understandable. That means you finna come home soon. But like if you just got hemmed up and there's some shit where you finna face like life, like cause nowadays 15 is life, 10 years is life, cause it's too late in the 2000s. That's baby life. That's a baby Mandela. That's what we call 15 years in Ohio, baby Mandelas. But it's too late in the 2000s, bro, to be getting caught, bro, trying to on a drill or whatever, bro. When they talking about 25 minimum, bro, it's like, bro, the world might not even be here in 25 years, bro, because so much going on. You know what I mean? Like now is not the time to be catching no long stint stretch, dog. Like for real, it's just not. Things is too shaky. You know what I mean? And if you got common sense, you can read what I'm saying, whether it's the war, the Ukraine, just all type of stuff in general. I'm not gonna get deep on here, but at this point in time in our life, hidden licks is at an all-time high. You know what I mean? They call it flocking on the west. We just call it hidden licks down the south. But y'all hit that like button while y'all in here. But it's like, bro, certain things is at an all-time high. You got people and mobs just crashing designer stores, jewelry stores. Um, it's like even if you're not in the field, like I told you a few lives ago, you are in the field because now you don't got to go outside in order to get in something. You know how many people call 911 and it start off, well, how did this happen? They was in their house minding their business and the devil sent somebody to interrupt their peace and cause chaos in their life. You know what I mean? So that video was very disturbing. And yeah, sometimes you can just go into something looking at something from a one-sided way. Like, man, that's messed up. Ain't nobody try to stop it. Everybody just recorded it. You know what I mean? But like I say, people try to say they're not involved. But the moment you pull out your phone and you record something, you are involved because if it was to turn into a murder, you don't think that them people gonna find all y'all and round y'all up. They got the footage. You can't lie and say this didn't come from your phone. We know you recorded it. Woo, 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 woo. So sometimes pulling that phone out, look, my dog, the star, he said exactly right. So it's like sometimes, bro, I know we be off the liquor and we be about 15 blunts up, bro. The phone, bro, that ain't always got to be the first option, bro. We'll have people right now can be riding down the street and see a couple in a domestic dispute. Instead of just minding your business, this is what they do. Pull out a phone. You know what I mean? And record. You know what I mean? Everything ain't meant to be recorded, dog. You know what I mean? And I'm not telling nobody to stop it because going live, I know people go live out the drills, before drills, and while they on the drill, they put the phone down on the back seat floor and wah, and do their thing and pick it back up. Yeah, yeah, you niggas went out there. Woo, 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 woo. It's dried up. You know what I mean? We're gonna spin back in later. So that school beating video is foul, and I'm pretty sure it's gonna be some smoke behind that as far as on the law side. They probably is like making the block hot. They're gonna be posted up, 5 trucks, mayors, and all that already involved. They already gathered around the lady, so it's like, but it takes for something to happen for people to tighten up on certain things. So you know what I mean, and that's always how it is. You know what I mean. Sometimes we don't tighten up on things until if it happens, especially when you the lady say she been complaining. You know what I mean. So like I say, a lot of them kids, some people say, well, you could tell they come from single parents. Believe it or not, a lot of kids nowadays be having two-parent households, bro. It's just that they be living a double life, bro. But they really do be having a two-parent household. That's why a lot of them kids on the low, they know if they daddy or whatever found out they was involved, they gonna stomp taco shells out their damn pockets. You know what I mean? And then I read the comments where some people say the parents should be charged for their kids' actions. I'm gonna tell you something, bro. For all y'all who don't got kids that watch my live, you can only voice that's an opinion. You know what I mean? Until you have a child, you don't know. I know some people, man, I'm gonna know what my child doing all the time. Man, it's impossible. You gotta work, you gotta grocery shop. You ain't gonna always be around your kid. If you're a productive, active parent, you gonna be on somebody's clock trying to provide, and then your kid eventually get to the point where they get in sports, all type of stuff. So you don't know what your kid do. And trust me, I'm a prime example of it. I'm real. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna sugarcoat nothing. I used to be into some of everything. My mom know now, you know what I mean? And some things I did get caught in the act. But you know how much stuff I used to be doing that my people didn't know about? So when you read the comments and just because that lady and her child got jumped on in the comments say, oh, the parents should be charged. You know what I mean, bro? You can't say that because a lot of parents don't even be knowing what be going on for real until the law get involved. Hit that like button until the law get involved, and the law needs to question the parents because the kid is underage, is a juvenile. But a lot of parents really don't be knowing that niggas thugging on the low, busting heads, ducking feds, and spreading bread. You know what I mean? Whether it's on your sleeve or in a flick. You feel me? So we can't always say we can blame the parents. Now it is some parents that's loose as hell, blowing L's with their kids, doing the most foulest shit that a parent don't supposed to be doing. You know what I mean? That ends in destruction. Yes, those right there, they should have been swallowed. I ain't gotta say, you know what I mean. You know what I mean? That the parents shouldn't have even waste their time or whatever. They should have just swallowed. You know what I mean? So, but all parents don't know what people do and their kids do in their off time. The parent even tell the cops sometimes. You will hear it in a scenario. They be like, "I thought he was at practice. He goes to football practice or basketball or soccer and such. I thought he was there the whole time. He hitting the lick on a bridge truck or somewhere, somewhere. You won't know until the police get on your trail and you wondering why they on your trail. The star see it's the parents' fault because it's their kid, but the kid should get in the most trouble because they the one that did that stuff. Yeah, for sure. Accountability, they got to be held accountable. You know what I mean? Like they got to be held accountable. You know what I mean? In order to feel the punishment, you have to be held accountable. Especially if they say the woman had a disability or whatever. And I'm not being judgmental, but she did look like maybe, you know what I mean? Or it could just be a bad day. You know what I mean? We all have bad days. You know what I mean? Look at me. I'm thugging right now. I ain't hit the barber shop. No, you know what I mean? I'm looking ratchet, braids, you know what I mean? Had them babies in a month, you know what I mean? So, hey, but the video was wrong. And like I said, the moment you record, that's when you make yourself involved. I wasn't involved. Bro, why you pull your phone out and start recording? Now you making it where them people could come question you. And you can't lie. This is your phone, right? You Elvis 2346, right? You know what I mean? Yeah, that's you. Yeah, right, right. You know what I mean? So, and then I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna leave it at that. When we juveniles and we get in trouble, I know we be, you know, I don't care. I don't, nigga, I'm living. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I didn't understand this till I got older. When you get in trouble as a juvenile, if you got a productive parent like how my parents is, and they gotta leave their job to take you to court, hit that like button while y'all in here. They gotta leave their job to take you to court. Now that I'm older, man, you messing up the bread, bro. You know what I mean? Like the more you stay in trouble, I got to keep leaving, or you ain't going to school, or you ain't doing right. You taking me away from my bread. You feel me? So that comes with wisdom. You know what I mean? You got to get older, and you got to understand things when you become a parent or whatever. You know what I mean? I didn't go through none of that. You know, my son, I'm blessed to have a good son. You know what I mean? And a daughter, but yeah, man, like we just gotta hold people accountable, you know what I mean? And they gotta learn from it. Now, if you ain't seen that video, go to YouTube, put in Chicago woman and her son beaten by kids at school, and give me y'all opinion on it. Now I'm gonna switch it up. I was just watching FBG Duck. His mama was on live, and she was talking about the old block trial. They sentence had like got canceled, and you know, she was just expressing herself about, you know, the trial and them having when Duck got killed. You know, they had to like play the video for the juror. And I know a lot of people be giving FBG Duck mom flat, you know what I mean? Because they feel like she could have like went about a lot of situations a whole lot better. You know what I mean? Like I think she had, man, she lost Britt, Duck, and then she had some twins that I think everybody say they got burned in a fire. I don't, you know, I'm not a news person, but I be seeing people be saying you should have that she promoted it because she let it Duck. You know, Duck used to shoot videos in the crib, him in the gang since potty train, and she actually admitted in an interview that she told him to diss Von back with that, you know, one song I ain't gonna say. And unfortunately, when he mentioned T. Roy and certain names in there, you know, certain people felt like ego came to play. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you can't be around here, and it's just, you gotta go. And then unfortunately, like we all seen, I'm just randomly scrolling through YouTube. I ain't even believe it at first because I ain't gonna lie, I've been messing with Vaughn and Duck now, bro, since people they was, you know what I mean, 212, 213, you know what I mean? So I ain't gonna cap. Like I know Duck got shot before and all that, but when I seen him All right, family, you too, homie. I appreciate you. I'm glad you saw. When I seen him stretched out downtown like that, and I'm like, why he can't get off the ground? But I didn't know he got hit that many times. You know what I mean? That's crazy, dog. You know what I mean? And I'll never forget that how I felt how when THL Zoo got hit. It was like what his mama put on the Unbelievable. You know what I mean? I was just shocked because you see these dudes in videos with 10 people and they all got sticks hanging out. You know what I mean? You 20, 30 deep. Y'all rolling 5, 6 cars deep. So it makes viewers and people with minds wonder like, okay, where was Wooski? Where was Dutchy? You know what I mean? Where was Young? Where was the, you know what I mean? You just get to asking, where was Trey? Where was all these different people who he used to be around? You know what I mean? But you know what's crazy about death? When it happens, the people who normally around you, they not gonna be around you. You know what I mean? So it's always unexpected. You know what I mean? And in her live, she talked about basically how some people confused saying that as if it got canceled, like they beat the trial. She was saying no. Basically, what can't happen in the courts, they just push their sentencing back. Basically, you know what I mean? So she was trying to clear that up. Duck mama, she was trying to clear that up. But me, you know what I mean? The older you get, I think the wiser you get. And you know what I mean? I don't have no problem with her. Me and her, we follow each other on Facebook, and nobody's is a perfect parent. I know a lot of us, for the ones who had parents and who got the wisdom to understand and look back and say, my parents wasn't that bad. It was me doing a lot of self-inflicted nonsense. You gotta give them their flowers. You know what I mean? And understand that it's only so much that a parent can do. You know what I mean? Yes, nowadays they got cameras now in the crib now. So if you at the crib, the parent can watch the crib from the phone. My era, parents, even if they could afford it, they not finna buy all that. Like hell no. So um yeah, I like her live, and you know what I mean. She said she got her channel took, she got it back. So I like her live, and if you ain't seen it, Duck Mama, go check her live out. You know what I mean? She was just explaining that Moowop and them didn't beat the case. They sentenced and got canceled. And I've been in that situation before. You can get pushed back. You know what I mean? It happens, especially with the feds for real. I know people who was in the county 4 years type stuff, five, fighting a case. You know what I mean? So you normally don't see it normally be like 2 years sometimes, 2.5. You know what I mean? It all depends how your case is. But yeah, she was saying they didn't beat it. They sentencing just got canceled. But Mama Duck, if you ain't seen her live, go check it out. Now, let's flip to some trial sports. My boy. Okay, they threw Shador Sandals, the Cleveland Browns. They threw my boy in no game plan, no nothing. He accepted that. You know what I mean? Okay, he accepted it. You know what I mean? He soaked it up. You know what I mean? He going into this week knowing he a starter. He could prepare better. You know what I mean? I seen him on the interview today. You know what I mean? Mentally, he looked prepared. He looked strong. Uh, the Sanders has got to be royalty in America because I ain't never seen where a dude, his kids got a billion internet aunties. You know what I mean? No specific race. They just love to support Shador Sanders, Shiloh, and just them in general. And a lot of people happy that they was happy when he came in the game. You know what I mean? Everybody who knows sports and football know it was only so much a person can do. It was no game plan for him. The coach been playing him. I ain't even been letting him practice with the starters. People who understand the sport understand and know what he's going through. So nobody is really on, bashing him. You know what I mean? All like that. You got haters. You always got a chosen few, but we don't care about that. But now with him knowing this week they play the Raiders, him going into planning mode is better mentally for him versus being thrown to the wolves. You know what I mean? So Cleveland Browns, Shador Sanders. You know what I mean? A lot of people not Browns fans. You know what I mean? I don't care about them. You know what I mean? I just 12, and I haven't been to a Browns game before. You know what I mean? But I'm not like no hella fan of them or nothing. But He'll be starting versus the Raiders, and I just want him to mentally move side. And like I say, man, even if you don't like the Browns, tune in to support 12 because don't nobody like getting blackballed. Whether you work at Wendy's and somebody trying to blackball you from a manager position, or you do landscaping and you got a person on there who trying to be a job rat and snitch on you, just whatever to do to destroy you because your character and your personality is love and it's unmatched and people just your vibe and energy people just cling to. So um I'm glad that he get to start, you know what I mean? Because the coach was really playing crazy, the staff, even the owner, and they was giving people um plantation type vibes, you know what I mean? As far as stuff that they were saying openly in interviews, you know what I mean? So um let's all support 12 this week, you know what I mean? Tune in and like I said, just show support. And like I say, if you don't know about it, go to my YouTube post, you know what I mean? Check my posts out for merch. I always post pics, merch. You know what I mean? If you serious inquiries only, hit the DM G Rio Benji, Facebook, G Rio Benji, hit the DM. You know what I mean? I do shipping, UPS, FedEx, whatever it is, you're gonna get your merch or whatever. We don't play games over here. And remember, we always support health, mental health. If you work out, you need some motivation. You know what I mean? Something to get you going and then turn on you some Lil Jon and make it happen. We got testosterone booster right here. Results in 7 days, 60 capsules. Take 2 a day. You know what I mean? Hey, see that? Try it. You know what I mean? So remember, drink you some water. You know what I mean? Go to my YouTube, hit that like button. For those that subscribe, salute. You know what I mean? I just felt that I had to really come in here and touch on that Chicago incident where the mother and her child got beaten and they all jumped on her. You know what I mean? So for those that tapped in and share their view and their thoughts on it, and for those that didn't see the video, like I said, go check that video out. And we got unlimited jackets dropping. You know what I mean? I will be posting them on my YouTube post and on Instagram. Instagram G Rio Benji, Facebook G Rio Benji. Like I said, if you're serious, send me a request. Website is under construction. We'll get that all rolling. And Tribe TV, tap in, salute.